this is Jennifer Lopez. And actually, that looks like a Hitler mustache. I've changed my mind.
And my interpretation is incest.
And we gotta hurry up and get this ritual shit going out.
Hogs. Yeah, fish facts.
Hey, do diamondback snakes actually eat corpses?
Nothingness.
Hello, my name is Christopher Albright, and this is a show in which we read your favorite comic books. Today with me is Mr. CHRISTYLE INC. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic too. And the comic we're going to read is called Braveheart Exile. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me just a little bit about where you got the inspiration for it and what the story is supposed to be about.
Certainly. So it's not nothing too abstract. If you're aware of another creator called Astral Ticket, he has a comic called Cremisi, which follows like alongside a little bit of like Outlaw Star, the old anime.
Love it.
And yeah, so I love Cremisi, I love Outlaw Star, and so me and him are like really good friends. And we were talking last year, and I was like, damn, I really want to do something like that, where I pull from an old anime series that I really liked. And so I happen to have been rereading Trigun, the manga, at the time I said that. So as I'm going through it, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I want to do something like this because, you know, why not? So that's basically what Braveheart Exile is, and what the story is it's a very short four issue series of a woman who is being accused of patricide. And the murder weapon is her own custom revolver. So she's going through the steps on trying to clear her name while being chased by bounty hunters and some of her family. So you get to kind of get that clock's ticking moment as we go through all the issues.
Listen, I was absolutely sold when you said Outlaw Star. That is one of the, as a child, I would record that on VHS, and I had little VHS tapes of every Outlaw Star show, and I watched them all the time. One of my favorite animes ever. But just in general, it sounds like an awesome concept. Let's go ahead, open it up, and start discussing what you did.
Right.
First, we're going to talk about the cover itself. How much input do you have on this cover?
100%. I mean, when JJ Crocodile is the artist. I met with him through a mutual friend of mine who he happened to be like, I'm looking for work, and I was like, I'm looking for an artist. Just happened to be on the very same day. But when I got to this part, I was like, I want to showcase the revolver. The revolver in her hand is called a Braveheart. So I wanted to showcase that in front as best I could, but I also wanted to showcase that it is a cyberpunk western. So she does have a metallic cyborg arm as well, which is not tied to the gun itself, but just tied to her design, and you'll see it all throughout the rest of the series too. So no, cover is 100% just how I divvied it out.
So when I looked at the cover, I saw the arm first, and I was like, okay, the arm must be important. But now that you're talking about this gun, you're talking about it being called Braveheart. That's really interesting. I did not notice the gun first. I just thought, oh, it's a gun. So that's an interesting thing to show me, right?
Well, I made it really big. I was like, I wanted to be a focal point. But I guess the arm is the more. I should have known.
No, the arm. I was like, the arm was cool. I said, okay, it's an arm. Okay, so we know that about the cover. We understand what you're trying to do there. Let's talk about the actual quote, because I thought it was interesting you put a quote in here. Why? What decision here?
So starting back in Dream Match Revolution, which is our wrestling comic, I started using it was a quote that I put in there, and I had gotten feedback from people that thought that was a really cool touch. And so I was like, should I add just another quote onto this book that I happen to be doing at the same time? I don't think that I'm going to keep doing these quotes as like a signature, but I always felt like it set the tone of the story up if you use it correctly. And so this one kind of worked.
Okay, fantastic. I was I want to know the significance of that. We're going to open up to our first 2 pages. Let me know how you wanted to start this book and why you wanted to do it this way.
Um, I didn't. We're not gonna waste time on the origins of her yet. I wanted to kind of do it, kind of like how you see it in Trigon, where
Mhm.
you are starting off. You don't even get the actual main character in action in motion yet. I wanted to kind of give the whole background, but I didn't want to give it too much weight. So you see here in the dialogue, they're talking about the murder that she's been accused of, but you kind of get you also get to get more dialogue about like the people around, um, and how they have metalheads and cyborgs around them. So I'm trying to world build as quick as possible because all the stuff that is there is going to get built upon as we go further. But I at least want you to be inebriated first.
Okay, fantastic. Quick notes, Devin loves some Crystal Ink. I love you, Devin,
Oh
as
my
well.
god! Oh my dog!
Yeah, yeah, buddy. And then Braden, Mr. Rook City writer, he has been working on manga a lot. Now, what I've noticed from
Hmm.
you is it almost entirely manga that you work on?
No, I honestly don't even count this one. But some people do. So it is in that style. The very next book that I'm working on is going to be 100% American style. Um, and because I'm trying to not stay in that niche, so to speak. But yeah, as of right now, most of it is.
Well, let's just real quick, let's talk about the niche itself. What have you found working in this style that's different from, a general styled comic, American style?
Whew.
Oh, okay.
Not to dissuade anybody from ever doing it because manga has been such a shared thing amongst multiple countries forever.
Mhm.
But the indie market has been 50-50 on content that is manga. And so
Really?
yeah, it's like when you show them this, you have to hope that this person is either open-minded to the idea of a American manga, or they at least will check it out and ignore the whole manga s title to it if possible. But you got a lot of people who are semi purist and are purists in concept only. So um, I honestly quit trying to sell it as such and just really focus on just talking about like the story itself. Um, since of last year, I stopped saying manga, so people will come tell me manga. People will come tell me comic, and I just go whatever, sure, whatever you want to call it. Do you want to read it? And that's all where I'm at.
That's fascinating, truly, because I've always wondered. I think it's crazy that there's such a divide on comic to manga readers, and that it has to be a purist on either way.
Right.
Um, it's just such a crazy thought process. I don't even understand it. Let's go back to the comic itself. Our first 2 pages. I love when I don't have to read a book and I can just look at it and go, I know what's happening. I
Mhm.
know that she's wanted. I know that we have the bounty hunters. I know our page turn right here. This is fantastic. This is already easy to digest. Anything else about this page you want to point out before we move to the next two?
I caught flack on one of my old stories because I didn't give the character her actual name until like later on. And
You
so
should get flack for that. Yes.
I yes. So and so on this one I was like early as hell, you're gonna get the name right then and there. And so
Mhm.
that was my like main focus of like I don't care what happens, just now. I don't know who the fuck says it, just right now.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So again, last conversation I had was about giving names every single time.
Mhm.
So I also believe throw that name out all the time. We have the bounty hunters come in. Tell me what's happening in these 2 pages and why.
So these bounty hunters, of course, are just your regular run of the mill bounty hunters. Money hungry. They slap down the wanted poster and they go up to the bartender. They're looking for her. Don't lie. The bartender's like, I don't know who that is because he really has no idea. So they're just kind of walking around casing the area. They go to where this seemingly bland woman is. They go and go look at her, and they go wake her up, and they look at her and they realize that the person on the poster is not her, or does not look like her at all.
Mhm.
So the only thing that they have claim to fame is that poster, which you'll find out later on in the story that poster is from a different time period. She's been on the run for a very long time, so she's altered her look to hide better.
Interesting. I want to ask about the lettering itself. I found that really different. First, we have the way the balloons are done. They're kind of blocky. They're manga style, but we also have them as translucent. Were these your decisions or were these your letter's decisions?
That was JJ's idea. He mocked it up where he was like, "Hey, by the way, here's how they look normally, but then here's how they look if we have them transparent." And I was looking at both of them, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I don't know if it'll matter, but I kind of like the idea. As long as it's easy to read, I don't
Mhm.
mind the idea of having it because like I like his art too much. Where I'm like, hey, I don't want this to be blocked at any way because I I
Mhm.
was I was getting kind of greedy on that. I definitely like to see it. So that was what we came on to.
I when I first saw it, it was the first thing that made me go, "Okay, I'm really interested now." Like, I've never seen this style before, and I also like bigger words. Like, here, I can read this from my tiny screen, I'm a big fan of that. A lot of the times, you see a bunch of bubbles, and they're really tiny words, so I like to be able to read. I'm an old man, but the translucent, it's interesting. Are bounty hunters, when you were designing their concept, was there anything specific you were going for? Are there any homages here? What was the plan there?
No, no. This is one of those moments where I went to to the artist and said, hey, I just need three differently shaped, differently high, all the differences. I just need them. You have complete reign. Let me see what you do. And so he did some of his own homages um that he personally felt like fit because these guys don't really matter as we go further along. And so I was like, yeah, do whatever you want. And I like him a lot. I honestly wish that he didn't do them like this because I would have kept one of them.
I was about to say, I hate that you said that they don't matter because I think they're super cool. Like, when I was looking, I was like,
Yeah.
"They are great designs."
Yeah.
Um, alright, we're gonna move on. We're gonna see our next 2 pages, and we are still in the bar scene. Um, tell me a little bit about what's happening. I'm gonna have some questions about why we're still here.
Right. So on the previous page, as they're walking away from Zara, um, our big guy here recognized her revolver, and he also knows that it's a very rare, very custom thing. It's
Mhm,
also what was used in the autopsy on the killed governor. So once he notices that, he goes, "Ah, there you are. You can't sit in hiding for much longer. We got you right here."
mhm.
So you now jump to the action scene. So now you get to see what this woman can do with this revolver and her own instincts. So on this page, you see that she's outgunned 3-1. So she has to make those odds kind of in her favor. So she comes and she kicks the bottle up, shoots it, and it blinds to 3. And then on the very next page, you see what she does.
You wanna go skip to the next page?
They're going in.
Yeah, let's see then.
There you go. So as they're blinded by the bottle, she goes in for a drop kick on 2, which kicks him outside of the bar. Runs to the other one, gives him a slurry of punches, grabs him and throws him outside. And so, um, and as you can see, she happened to use your favorite arm on this one. So there's that aspect of her design working for her. And so she goes and tells the bartender, "Hey, lay low," and slides outside and is in complete cover, ready for the gunfight.
Perfect. We have "The book looks good" from Don't Call Me Blurred. Do we know this person?
Uh, no, but I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Don't call me
I think
blurred.
we might know. Action. Let's talk about action real quick. When you're writing an action scene, what are you aiming to do in those scenes? Are you just high energy, or do you want back and forth? What are you aiming for yours?
It really depends on the book. If you look at Dream Match, because it's pro wrestling,
Mhm.
I'm also working with an artist who does not understand pro wrestling, so it's a lot of me trying to
Oh,
convey it back and forth, just so that she understands it and can keep up her own pace. Here with JJ, it was more about I need you to give me the big moments every action scene. I don't want to hide nothing back. So whenever we
mhm.
do action, there's gonna be a cap, and it's gonna be a definitive cap, and it's gonna be a successful cap where like it looks good from the very beginning, middle, and end, and it feels good when it ends.
Okay, fantastic. And then this next page is kind of a splash page.
Yeah.
Typically, when I see a splash page, they are the action pages. They are the most action pages. This one is someone hiding. What decision process went into that? Why would you choose this over an action page?
Um, I really wanted to just get a wide shot of
Mhm.
her because I realized like at this point of the book we didn't have a wide shot, and I was like, hey, for the next couple pages we have to work on getting wide shots. So he gave me this one, and I was like, perfect. I'm hoping that as we go further, that's just what we will at least for like the next 3 or 4 pages. Um, that's kind of because she's been confined into the small frames. I want to see her bigger and bigger.
Okay.
So once you turn it, it'll show her in like a much bigger frame again.
We'll talk about that in just a second. Splash page is one panel, is what I'm told. This is like a splash page, okay? Now you're mentioning wide shots. You mentioned that you need to get more of them. Why? What purpose do they serve?
Because I need the action frame on this character because she's in a high octane moment. So I just want her to be in some type of motion and some type of framing for it.
Also, don't call me blurred is Stokes. Love you, Stokes. Let me
Oh, you
see.
you just found out.
So I knew it, but I was also like, we'll wait to double check. Next we have our action shots. We have even more action shots. What were you doing here?
Trying to get that cap.
Trying to get that
Um,
cap.
trying to get and cap is right here. Cap is done for this exact moment right here. She hops up on top of that car while she's being shot at, rain, being shot towards, and she
Mhm,
turns the corner or turns around in midair and licks up 3 shots, right?
mhm.
So all 3 shots are hit, and you can see 2 of them bleed, one doesn't bleed, but he's also out. Um, so now we're done. Next page is her leaving, and you get more dialogue on how she is kind of living in that moment of what just happened and what she's trying to do is still move forward.
So the scene with the gun being raised, incredible. By the way, your artist, I want to just shout them out because I think your artist is fantastic. This is a lovely looking book. Like this thing is incredible. I love also that we kill off all these guys pretty much immediately, right? Like we
Right.
boom, boom, boom. We're showing how quick she is, how she works. You said that she's living that moment. What exactly does that say for her? What was she saying here?
She's trying. She's because I don't want to say what she's really trying to say. But at
What do
this
you want the
moment,
reader to think she's saying?
what I want the reader to look at her in this moment and realize that she's goal driven. She's trying to move on to the very next piece. She realizes that her hiding spot right here at this bar has been showcased. So now it's time to leave. So it's her giving the reader the knowledge of I'm on a mission. I'm on a journey still. This all
Mhm.
this happened, but I have to move on.
Okay. Anything about these 2 pages before we go to the next 2?
Um, I really like it. Unlike you, I like that. I like that shot.
That shot's good. That's a good shot. I almost wish that it was a full splash page because, like, that's a killer scene, man. Let's see what happens next. Now we have a splash page, Stokes. This is what decision process went into this? Because there's another one of those weird types of splash pages. You had a writing choice that you made here. Why?
Um, this person right here is important, and I need people to. I really like full body people, or full body shots of anybody who is new into the story as like their
Mhm.
like debut. So if there's a new character, I try to give them a full something if I can. So I figured right here was like, you know what? I need there to be something full so that we can start doing all the mini frame shots, which she gets a really cool one on the very next page.
I was gonna say, it's a fantastic answer. I see that happen all the time too, is that we show a character, you have a man bleeding out here. It's a good splash page. But then the next page with the BAM here, immediately I don't have to know anything about what she's saying. I know who she is as a person now. Like this
Right.
just says, oh, she's cold blooded. This is fantastic. Um, this character herself, what went into the design process for you?
That is Zara's sister, Garnet.
Mhm.
But you won't know that until the very next book. But um, she kind of gives you that air of she might have some type of knowledge that is attuned to our main character. As our main character is trying to clear her name,
Mhm.
seeing her and seeing what she's doing, you start to ask questions as to why is she going behind and cleaning up, Zara's kill. Why is she not chasing her down? Why is she just watching from a distance? She could have easily shot her about 2 minutes ago. So you get that air of, okay, wow, this is what this is a character to go watch out for.
Okay, fantastic. On to the next two. Let's see what we have. And again, the way that you presented her, this character, this new one, has been fantastic so far. Tell me about these two pages.
Perfect. Do you remember the cover of this story?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, they're identical. Now that you're saying
Yes.
that, it just all clicked immediately.
Yeah. So I wanted it to be exactly like, oh, they're siblings. Simple as that. So we go from this page where it ends with her calling her sister, with the smoke still in the background.
Mhm.
So it's showing you that they're really close in a state, but she's not her target. And so it keeps you wondering who is she.
Mhm.
So that's her. And then on the very next page, it's Zara traveling, and so you kind of get her looking back at her gun and talking about how much the gun's trouble is really worth for her, or it's bringing her more trouble than it's worth. And then we go to a flashback on the very next page.
So we'll go ahead and move forward for you. Go ahead and tell me more about this.
Yeah, so you get the one up poster here, and then it goes right to her, and you get that very small scene. You hear that they have found her over the body of the dead governor, and they're putting everything together of, oh, she had, there's a smoking gun, someone's dead, she did it. And one of the lines here is that bastard daughter killed her. So I put it like that for a reason. It shows disdain for somebody in her family,
Mhm.
which once again is just, if you pay attention, that'll be like it'll all be answered in the very next book. But you see her at the very end. No way, I didn't do it. If if I mean you're if you were in that room right there and you saw a smoking gun and somebody dead, you would go, oh yeah, okay, that person did.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so when you look at it, you're like, then how the hell could she not have done it? She's there's all the ingredients for the cake. Why no cake? You know? So it's
Yeah,
it's it's kind of giving the reader the whole thing of like, she couldn't have not done it, right? I have to find out more.
absolutely. The page after that, you set up establishing shot. I can't actually understand what this is. Is this a doctor's office? What is this? MDoc?
Yes. So this is a have you played like Cyberpunk before?
No, I played
Okay.
Final Fantasy, which just reminds me a lot of the old Final Fantasy
Hey,
games.
same thing. So on under those plates, you have the people that all the doctors who are working on everybody who can't afford the real
Hmm.
medical. So this is a excuse me, this is a low end doctor who she's going to, and you don't even get the idea of what she's going there for. But she's apparently expected, as you can get from the dialogue of where you followed, and her
Hmm.
saying never.
Okay, so we'll move forward then. And oh, is this the last page?
This is the last page.
Oh, dude, I thought we had so much more. I'm actually a little disappointed. Go ahead, tell me what happens on the last page.
So you get the good doc who has our hero trained in some crosshairs right here. Um, and his very last words is good, and nobody will come looking for you here, which means that this could possibly be this could spell trouble for our hero. So we ended it right here.
So for me, just to discuss as a reader, what I felt there is we were in a flashback. This is no longer a flashback. This is present time now.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I didn't get that at first. I got a little confused. I thought we were still in the flashback and things were happening. But
Oh
this is another scene with a new bounty hunter coming after her. Is that right?
no, this actually is the doctor security.
Gonna have to elaborate. A little
Oh,
confused.
well, so this doctor has he takes care of a community of people. This community of people kind of rely on him. So for him, he has on the beck of call people that will defend him or do at as his will because he is
Mhm,
a healthcare provider. Um, and so with them there, at this point, you are as confused as everybody else is of what's happening. All you know is that at the very end, it seems like there's a underhanded thing going on that she's not prepared for, as you could tell by her look up top.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, what is planned for the rest of the series so far? You said there's 4
Yeah,
in total,
four in
so 3
total.
left.
Yeah. So next book, which we're doing actually right now,
Mhm,
we are going to unveil her father, who has a really big plan um, with her, and then we're going to do more of her sister. Um, and then you'll get to kind of see what the revolver really is, and a little mystery event going on within her right now.
mhm.
She's not well, not at all. She's not well, which is why she went to the doc. And then you'll kind of see exactly why she went to the doc and what that means for the next 2 pages or next 2 issues.
Okay, fantastic. One final question for you. Actually, I suppose too. How long have you actually been making comics now?
It's been like for 3 years.
3 years. So still kind of fresh, but have you found your footing in comics so far? Do you feel like you finally found that place?
Yes. I if you look back at all my books that we have ever put out, you kind of see that I have my own um, signature, and that
Mhm,
is I really like female main character protagonist. I like
absolutely.
them. I can write the hell out of any of them. I love them a lot. It's not like, oh, he's just a gooner. No, which some people have said, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not key people in the space. No, but when like me writing women, it's so much easier because emotionally women have been due to show a lot more. So I'm
Mhm.
able to connect better with multiple types. Not saying that men are harder for me. I just prefer to put women in certain spaces. But I don't write women in a way where it puts men on like a bottom rung. I just write women where it puts them on an equal footing or even something that's like realistic due to whatever kind of story that I'm doing.
I really appreciate that because that is the same with me where I want to write a woman character more than I want to write a man character for almost the same reasons.
Right.
Does it always play out the way? No, but we try. When it comes to finding your footing, though, what did you find was the most important piece of advice or thing that you did to actually stabilize in the community?
Oh, don't chase trends. Don't look at somebody else and see what works for them and then try it yourself. Just don't do that. I've tried that. I looked around and figured that was going to work. Doesn't work. Does not work. So you need to do trial and error. Like you need to actually lose some money or you need to lose some readers doing something just so that you can go from experience. Okay, I won't do that shit again.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Sure. I'm not going to argue. That sounds great to me. Hakimi, thank you. It is a cute tie-dye hoodie. I am Kanaf. Mr. CHRISTYLE, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. If you want to call it X, your peers.
Okay. You're still there. Sure.
still there is hilarious. Every now and then I log in. But if I'm more active on Instagram on CHRISTYLE __ Inc. I do have a Substack as well. If you find me on my socials and you go on my bio, there you go. Also, if you follow me on my Substack, you will if you subscribe, you will get a free comic sent to you from my collection. So you should definitely go do that.
Hey, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for showing up tonight, and you have yourself a wonderful night. Thank you, everyone, for showing up too and supporting CHRISTYLE because he deserves the support.
Bait for the bait drill. Trash for the trash throw. Welcome to my emotional thunderdome. I am creative nothingness.